Alright, what's up everyone? Sean here, and welcome to my channel vlog update with a look back on September and a look forward to October, what's going to be in store for that month. I actually was recording earlier, but for some reason my camera and my recorder for my, audio portion of things didn't really go. So I guess I have to do this all over again. So yeah, I was like really into it, but oh well. I guess I can cut things a little shorter, I guess. But anyway, I was talking about movies in the beginning because I watched quite a bit of movies in real life as we jump into the look back on September in real life, because there's quite a bit to talk about in real life. But anyway, so first off, for movies, I watched It Chapter 2, which was pretty good overall. I mean, I hate to repeat myself again for the sake of things, but I liked Chapter 1 better, and the actors did well for what it's worth, and Bill Hader was, good with his role, and I think it was Richie. I think Richie was his name, but anyway, he did his character well. And this is the final chapter for it, and the way it ended, I'm just like, I wish it was different or something, but I think they stuck it with the book, and I guess that's how it goes. So it's that's it's so ironic, but whatever. That's how it ends, and it's just silly. The whole thing with it, I guess, is supposed to be silly, but still, I wish it could have been better, but again, it is what it is. I still give it a 7 out of 10. In Chapter 1, I would give it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's how I feel about it as a whole, when it comes to the remakes anyway. Up next, we watched Ad Astra. This was quite different from all the other films we've watched, at least as of recent. Because this is very moody, this is very niche, very much a slow burn, featuring Brad Pitt and space. And there are a lot of things that could have been really impressive for me, but it kind of just like left it alone too early. And I'm just like, what? And it was just, I don't know. It definitely isn't a film for everyone. It definitely does put you in a certain mood, and I had a lot of food in my stomach, and there were moments of vertigo and stuff like that. I was like, whoa. So like I felt the weight of the food in my stomach, and like, but at the same time there's this like feeling of isolation and being alone and stuff like that. Like it feels like you're in a gel or a bubble or something. So I think on that part does a good job, but otherwise it's not gonna really like be a fun film to watch for everyone. If you're really into like the films where it puts you in a certain mood or very niche or artsy or something like that, then yeah, there you go. And also, of course, it takes place in outer space, so that's another thing. But it's got Brad Pitt in it, Tommy Lee Jones in it, so it was interesting for what it was, and it definitely is, I guess something different, you know what I mean? Because we've been watching films like, Avengers and all the Marvel films and all these action stuff and whatever. So yeah, that's quite different, quite a contrast, very stark at that. So not entirely terrible. It's just like something I can't really recommend to everyone, and it's really better to watch it like alone. Not definitely a fun film to watch with like when you're having friends over or you're having a night, spending a night at a friend's house and you're like watching movies or something like that. But again, it's different. It's not bad, and it is interesting for what it's worth. So anyway, I also watched The Shining, which was like a classic, from the 80s with Jack Nicholson and the experiences of cabin fever. So it definitely is, a classic. I finally watched it as a whole, and I definitely was happy that I experienced it, especially in 4K, and it was remastered. And it was only for one night at the theater that we usually go to. So really nice. It was really clean looking, and for a 80s film, it was great to see. It's just classic Jack Nicholson, man. I really liked it. Now I really see why these scenes are famous. It really makes all more sense to me now. It really comes together pretty much. And I've been thinking about doing a video about talking about a certain line from that movie, and I want to give my interpretation as to what it means and stuff. And maybe I do want to talk about the ending as well in a separate video, or maybe in the same video or whatever. We'll see about that. Because I do really like to talk about movie-related stuff, because I'm, that kind of guy. So yeah, so overall, it was great to see Shining for my very first time entirely. Just a great film from, Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick, I believe his name. And it's just a classic that many people should check out if they haven't already. So, especially with that ending, I'm like, whoa. I mean, I've seen it before, like all these scenes and stuff like that, but now that it all comes together, I have a better sense of like context with what's what, and I want to now someday give my interpretation about it. So I believe up next. Oh wait a minute. What blew my mind after watching Shining is that I came to learn that there was a sequel coming out not too far from now as I record this, and it's definitely a sequel, Doctor Sleep, I believe it's called, to The Shining, and it picks off with one of the old characters from the first film, and it's like, what? And yeah, so my feelings is that I do want to watch it just for the sake of like it is a sequel to Shining, but it's definitely going to be a very different film just because of how modern cinema is nowadays with all the CGI and blah, blah, blah. I had a long talk about this in my previous recording, but unfortunately that didn't go through, and oh well. I mean, all I want to say is that modern movies are definitely very different in comparison to films like The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, and such other films. But at least with like Tarantino films, that's still kind of keeping it alive, and that I do really, really enjoy. He's pretty much like my favorite director and stuff like that. But anyways, I don't want to divert off too much like I did in my previous recording, so there's that. I will still check it out. All in all, Shining was great. I loved it. I was glad I spent my time watching that film as a whole. There were other things I did see, not in the theater, but things I haven't seen, but now I did. And one of them was Spaceballs. For the longest time, I've never seen Spaceballs. My expectations weren't too high. It is a comedic film from the 80s, I believe. And it's very much, the flavor of the year sort of thing, which means a lot of the jokes didn't really age that well because I'm pretty sure they're jokes that would have been really funny, or the humor overall would have been really funny from that time period, but they all just kind of come out as like really kind of like cheesy dad jokes almost. But there was one part I do really like, which was the scene with the giant comb, like because they're literally combing through the desert and something like that to find the main characters or whatever. And there's that line from the soldiers that happen to be black, and they're just like, we find shit. So that was actually like my favorite part of that entire movie. So, but yeah, I finally watched it now, and now I understand the references that my friends pull out and stuff like that, like Pizza the Hut, that sort of thing, and that whole joke with the assholes and stuff like that, and the stunt doubles and whatever. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like looking back in time almost. So that kind of part of cinema, it's like, it's for the best for the 80s, but Kubrick, Tarantino stuff, that definitely is always welcome for me anyway. That's just my personal take on it. I think the last but not least, we did recently watch Rambo Last Blood. As I said in my previous recording, it's Rambo. Like, it's not much to expect, but the first half of the film, or first part of the film, was like, you know, it kind of felt like a chore or obstacle almost. But yeah, you know, there is one part that was pretty sad, but yeah, it could have gone either way, I feel. And that was like very plot driven, and it made Rambo feel like this. So that's why the ending was pretty cool, but you know what I mean? It's like kind of by the numbers, and there were some weird parts to it. Like the editing was actually really weird. There was one part where the guy, this guy was talking, and you can just see his face up fucking close in certain shots, and the ADR was like super off. I was like, oh no. So yeah, it was like not synced for some reason, I think, right? So I was like, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, but it's Rambo still. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10 at the least, or the lowest, and a 7 at the very most. So you can probably wait for it on Netflix. I don't know if I can feel like I do recommend it, but for my time, I enjoyed it. I really liked the last part. It was fun to watch. It kind of, you know, felt like Home Alone but for adults sort of thing. Very gory, I will say. There are some very gory moments. And by the end of it, it's like, damn. That's all I can say. I hope it's not the last film. I really do hope there's a part 2 to it, which, like, one, it's like a joke to, you know, First Blood part 2. So it's kind of like a joke on that. But we'll have to see. You know, so Stallone is like very old now. He got hit hard with the aging. But, you know, maybe with this magic of CGI, they can kind of fix that. But in this case, they don't really need to do that. But it's kind of left ambiguous the way it ended, so it's possible, definitely. There's still some hope for a Rambo Part 2, and hopefully Rambo Part 2 can be better than the Last Blood Part 1, I guess you can say, or call it. But anyway, I think that's all the films I've seen for September. There are some other movies. There are more movies to look forward to in October. But yeah, anyway, more onto the real life stuff, work-related things. Things have been going well for the most part still, but there is going to be some changes coming. Hopefully that won't, you know, kind of cause a ripple in my, you know, consistency of working and stuff like that. So if it does, I'll just have to make adjustments to it, and hopefully things will work out. Maybe it might be a sign. I don't know. Maybe something is calling out to me or something. I feel. I don't know. But we'll have to see. I don't want to jump the gun too quick. I do want to see how things play out, and we'll just go from there. So things will definitely be, I guess, refreshing in that sense, I guess, if I can look at it that way. Anyways, don't want to go on too much after that. I have been keeping up with my workouts. My legs have been pretty consistent, and I'm trying to do my damnness to you know, keep up with that. It's been pretty good. Otherwise, you know, I'm just maintaining my body. Haven't made any strides just yet, I don't think. I believe my PR with my chest was like a plate, quarter, and a 5, I think. So a plate 30, let's just say. So yeah, this is where last time I left off, and yeah. Sorry, I really want to make sure my recording is like still going. So I'm like looking down and looking up, down and up. So yeah, I gotta talk about this again, but I guess here goes. Last thing I did want to talk about in real life was something house related. But, you know, just to clarify things right away, myself and my family are okay. It's, I guess, maybe for most people might be like, you know, like, probably minor. For the very first time, I've had mice in a house. I first discovered this when I was like on the last, it was during the last portion of my stream for like Fire Emblem, and I was like super tired, but I still was having a good time with the game. itself, but right at the end of things, in the corner of my eye, I just saw something like some sort of shadow like scurry across my floor. And I was just like, what the hell was that? Like I jerked my head downward to the floor, trying to see what it was. But at first I was kind of in denial because I was tired. So maybe I've started to see things, and I was like, yeah, probably a good time to stop. So I stopped the stream, and then I just didn't know what it was or whatever, so I just naturally could not sleep all that well. And then next time, it was like soon after, during another night, I saw it again and I got a better look at it, and it was definitely some sort of mouse. And I was just like, what? Because I never had any mice in the house. We probably had like maybe a couple of them like outside, but it was like far away from the house and everything. But I don't know how they got in. It's still a mystery to me because there's no like obvious holes or cracks or anything like that. Other than just one that might have been potentially the one. I don't know, because it was just like a random outlet hole in one of my closets, and I've never seen that until now. Like I just happened to look up in the shoe closet or whatever you call it, and it's like right out the front door. So I looked up and I saw it, and it was like open. So I was like, oh, maybe this was the one. So for now, I put some duct tape on there. I gotta check it out again, but might have been the one. I don't know. They might have just like came to the front door. I for a while I didn't know. But in the process, so after we realized there were mice in the house, we let out some traps and we caught them, and we pretty much got rid of them. So now we got people like coming in on our way to coming in and patching up the rest of the like possible like entries and stuff like that. Potential entry or break-in, I guess we call it, with mice, and it's just been so like surreal. Like I've never seen anything like this happen, in my almost 30 years in his house. And now, you know what I mean? It's like now they come in September. It's just really random to me. Like I can't put together as to how it all happened, but I guess there's a population increase in mice in LA, and some of them have gotten here or something like that. I don't know. Like it's just still mind-boggling. But for now, we got rid of them, and we're still taking precautions. But I think for the most part, they're out, and glad I got over that hurdle. But yeah, because the cherry on top of this whole crazy Sunday is that we got a puppy, coming in around that same time. So it's like I gotta, deal with these mice, and then now I gotta, give my attention to the new puppy, who happens to be a mixed breed of sorts. She's a small dog. Her name is Marin, or in Japanese, I guess it's just Marin-chan. But Marin, yeah, that's pretty much her name, or you maybe call it Marine in English. I don't know. It's just a name that my mom came up with, and my mom kind of just had the final word for it, and and she pretty much had the puppy come in. So yeah, my sister was looking out for some litters of puppies and stuff like that for us to see and check out, and with pictures and stuff like that, my mom saw it, and she, I guess, had the urge to buy this puppy. And now we have a puppy in the house. Not currently, because we have her under a training program. She just started tonight, so hopefully, she'll be a lot calmer and stuff like that. More, a lot more civilized, I guess you can say. I don't know if that's the right word for it, because puppy. But yeah, so we got a dog in the house, and I will do my best to give my affection and love and attention for it as much as I can. and try to give her a happy home. So I'll just have pictures here. You're probably not gonna see her on camera for like a while, because you do want to make sure that she's mature and potty trained and properly ready for the rest of the house, because we've always had her in a cage sort of setting. And she's been pretty sporadic and stuff like that. She got that puppy energy going on, so it's been hard to get her attention entirely. So training her has been difficult. So that's why we have a dog trainer put her through a program for 2 weeks at a different place. It's like down the street actually, so she's not entirely out of reach or anything like that. And then another 2 weeks, we're gonna have the trainer come here to train her at the house, and hopefully that goes smooth, and hopefully it'll bring some sort of change in her behavior. But yeah, we'll see. She's a puppy, so it really can't be helped, and we really don't know how she's gonna turn out, by the age of 1 year. So she's right now pretty much almost 4 months in. We just had her for almost a month, technically. It's been interesting. It's been an interesting September. Mixed bag, but mostly good, I would say. I got to, still hang out with my friends, watch movies and stuff like that. We got a puppy, but then we had the mice, and then work kind of happened. Something happened at work. In fact, today, because I was just doing my duty, I was, looking after the dock, and at times I approached the drivers who park in the employee spot which they aren't supposed to, and I try to, do my duty and just tell them, hey, would you, move your vehicle to the appropriate side of the parking lot. And they're, for the most part, comply to it, but there are some things that kind of happened at the parking lot today where I was like, what should I do? Because I just happened to be in this spot at the dock, and one of the drivers that was getting into an argument with other drivers, and they kind of caught my attention, and right away this driver was just like, oh, this happened and this and that happened, and this person almost hit me with their car, or hit my car with their car, and blah blah blah, and I tried to say this and that, and then the other drivers were like, oh, but this happened, and we don't know what she was saying, and we're just trying to get through, blah blah blah. And I don't know, I just didn't know what to do, and I don't know who, I didn't want to take anyone's side. I was like, what the fuck's going on, man? And it kind of just diffused on its own, and I told the managers about it, and yeah, so it kind of is what it is. I'm just like, oh man, I got tangled. I just happened to get caught in a situation like this, and that's just the work life though. But yeah, September, man, all the way to the very end has been a mixed bag. But again, it's been mostly good. Still here in one piece. Still, playing games and stuff like that. And speaking of games, wanted to get there because now we can talk about happy stuff. I was able to pick up Borderlands 3 when it came out, and I'm almost done with it. I'm to the point where I met a certain Vault Hunter, and some story stuff happened, and now, oh, my stomach growled. I now almost there, let's just say, and I've been enjoying it for the most part. I would like to get around to do a review about it, and we'll definitely have to see about that. But it's a fun game for the most part. On the gameplay side of things, a lot of quality of life changes or updates and stuff like that came through, and I really do like them for what it's worth. And it's a Borderlands game that I've been waiting for a long time for the most part, but the story side of things has been pretty weak, especially with the main story. The villains just don't cut it. the just overall story just doesn't really make me care about it a whole lot, unfortunately. But you know, that's just how it goes. But the game itself is fun enough for me to keep going. I do like collecting guns, leveling up my Vault Hunter, which is Moe's. I love Moe's. She got the mech and everything. She's fun to use. I'm trying to complete the green skill tree, which is the one with like infinite ammo and stuff like that, bigger magazine size and all that. That just sounds really fun. I'm like level 42-ish, so I'm getting there. I'm getting almost there to the level cap, at least the initial one anyway. And yeah, so Borderlands 3, pretty fun. I was hoping the story to be more to be you know, fun too. Maybe not better than with the one with Handsome Jack with Borderlands 2, because that's the first one I played, and I really enjoyed that game for the story and the gameplay during the time, I mean. But here I really enjoyed the gameplay, but the story is like, But at least with the side stories, they're fun to do. I find those more entertaining than the main story itself. And again, it's really just the villains, man. They don't really stick out with the rest. They don't really have any strong impressions for me. So that's why I don't really care as much to move forward, because it's very like going through the motions. Like, oh, hey, we're streamers. We do this. We do bad stuff. Oh yeah, you guys suck. Oh, we killed this person. Oh, you guys are gonna die. Oh, you guys are going to this next vault? Oh, thanks for whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It just, unfortunately, it looked interesting initially, but, you know, now that I've seen them, it's like, all right, that's the villains. Okay. So, I guess, yeah, that's Borderlands 3 for you. But hopefully the expansions and stuff will be interesting, which I already bought, so I'm ready to go. It's all digital, so yeah. So I'm ready for that. Other games I've been playing, I actually also bought Iceborn, and I recently started picking it up quite a bit. And I guess, drive for the game kind of came back. It kind of like rekindled. It's really fun to always play in short bursts. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stick with it, but the new monsters, new armor, new weapons and stuff like that have been really interesting. The new gathering hub is really good. I like that everything is like, for the most part, like nearby, and you can access to it from there. So the new hub, the new like, you know, base and stuff like that, it's been really cool. So I'm pretty happy with Iceborn so far. The story's like, you know, more or less like kind of going through the motions and stuff, but the cutscenes are really cool with the monster introductions, and Rajang is coming. So you know, it's like the monster I've been most interested, because it pretty much has a freaking Super Saiyan form and stuff. So I'm just like, you know, waiting on that, which is in October. So hopefully I can get around to it and experience Rajang, of how brutal he can be. Well, yeah, other than that, Iceborn's been pretty good. I'm still continuing to play Fire Emblem somewhat. I'm on the Blue Lions right now. I previously finished Golden Deer, and I did that for a review, speaking of which, for 3 Houses. Pretty happy with how it came out. You know, I just like doing videos like that. So hopefully, you know, it picks up more views along the way. But, you know, for the most part, it's just very fulfilling to like make a video and just put up on YouTube and have people see it. But yeah, so a lot of stuff was, you know, to be had on the YouTube channel for September. Let me bring it up just a moment here. So for YouTube, doing a review in a very, very literal sense. We did, you know, had some more Golden Deer going on for the stream, and like I said, that was like around the time where, you know, that whole thing with the mice kind of happened. So that was kind of when I stopped streaming, and I've been on a break for 2 weeks now. But now that that's pretty much subsided, I feel a little more comfortable, at least enough to get back into it again for hopefully this week, if nothing else comes up. So hopefully I can get back into it soon. I also did a reaction to one of the directs for Nintendo. Pretty cool, pretty exciting to see with Terry Bogard as a Smash character now. There was stuff for Animal Crossing, I believe, and so on and so forth. And yeah, it was I think it was a good turnout for that one. Also, I did the It reviews. I think I kind of mentioned that, at least in the previous recording, but now I did mention it for sure. We also reviewed Amiibos for Squirtle, Solid Snake, and Ivysaur. And then I released the VOD for Astral Chain, which was like right at the beginning of September and right at the end of August from what I can remember, but it's like right at the cusp, right? Anyway, we also continue the podcasts as best as we can. I think we've only done 2, but no, I think that's a normal number, right? Per month, 2 per month, yeah. Anyway, we did a podcast for the Tokyo Game Show, which happened and came and went. Some exciting stuff like Final Fantasy VII, excuse me, Final Fantasy VII and Tales of Arise. Oh man, I'm starting to lose my voice. But anyway, so that happened. And also, lastly, we had the review for Three Houses, like I kind of mentioned before. So for October, there's really not much going on as much when it comes to games other than Call of Duty. So I will definitely do some sort of review or impressions video for Call of Duty. Oh yeah, I did impressions video for Borderlands 3. Anyway, back onto what we're gonna do in October. Call of Duty is the only thing on our plate, or on my plate, for games, I think. And otherwise, I'm kind of like thinking twice about certain games that are coming out in October. But Call of Duty for sure is happening, just because it's Call of Duty, and kind of want to get back into that kind of first-person shooter. And I do want to see the campaign for it, so that's why I'm gonna buy it. Hopefully the microtransactions or whatever won't be bad, or in there at all even. Time can only tell, and we'll see. We'll see about that. But yeah, I think that's really all much it for October when it comes to games. But I know Joker is happening soon for October. We're actually gonna watch it the opening night. We already have tickets ordered. We got our seats. And yeah, so Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker. That's gonna be an interesting watch. And I've been hearing good things about it for the most part. So I do look forward to it. I'm pretty sure there's other movies that are coming out in October that don't come to mind right now. But if we get out into it, we'll try to do our best to do reviews for it, whether it's me only or myself and Danny. We'll see, depending on if he wants to talk about Joker or if he wants to talk about something else or whatever. But yeah, anyway, I'm hoping to do a review for Borderlands 3, but yeah, I'll try to do an impressions video for Iceborn. I think, there's really more or less the same thing, but with updates, so maybe I'll do a review at that. I don't know, we'll see. Review/impressions, we'll see about that. But yeah, I think the Amiibos come out October 2. I forget, forgive me, but really otherwise that's pretty much it. That's all I got in mind. I'm hoping to release more We Have Fun videos later this month, and it'll more likely be with myself and Gamma, Esfaka, and our friend Jessream Dan when we're in Evo. So I gotta get around to making those videos and all that fun stuff. So anyways, hopefully not too many other things come up, but yeah, I think that's all much it. I'm not really doing anything special for Halloween, that sort of thing. It is the month of Halloween, and the weather is getting colder, so yeah, that means people can wear more stuff for costumes without sweating and stuff. Anyway, I believe that's it for the vlog update with October, what we're going into for October, and a look back on September. So it's been an interesting month, but we got through it, and hopefully things will go be looking up from there. It's been, yeah, you know, we got the mice is out, and hopefully a trained puppy will come in. But yeah, we'll see about that. Whether she changes or not, we're gonna have her. So I'll give my love as much as I can. I'll do my best. If anything else does not get in my way. Oh my God. Life is definitely full of surprises. There's always a first time for everything. So, well, anyways, just keep that in mind. You know, for advice. If if you haven't taken anything else from this video, just there's always a first time for everything. So that's my advice for the video. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like comments or something like that for the channel, those are always welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more videos to see. From what I can understand, like the subscription feed has been really wonky, so I'm terribly sorry if you don't see new videos from me, but I promise you I still make content and stuff. So if you happen to catch this, just know I'm still making stuff. It's just YouTube being YouTube, and it's terrible for the most part, but hopefully things look up for that platform. But anyway, or rather this platform, I don't know. Anyways, I stream, I have a Twitter, I have all that stuff. That's all in the description below, so please check that out. And yeah, so again, this has my vlog update with October and looking back on September. So thank you guys so much. As always, I will see you guys in the next video. As always, Sean out.